Welcome back to Pre-Algebra. We are in section 2.2, Evaluating Algebraic Expressions. We are following Pre-Algebra for Christian Schools by Bob Jones University Press, first edition, and we're on page 44. But first, 2 lame jokes for you. What's worse than raining cats and dogs? Hailing taxi cabs. If you don't know what it means to hail, that says, "Hey, taxi!" You know, you see it in the movies. You can tell we live out where you don't hail taxi cabs. Secondly, what song does a cat like very best? What is the cat's very favorite song? Well, that's an easy one. 3 Blind Mice, because it makes them think of what they could do with those mice. So, we are on evaluating algebraic expressions, which is very, very simple. In our last section, we showed you how to just evaluate numerical expressions using order of operations. Very simple. Well, you have those same order of operations with variables also. And I really touched on this last lesson, but I'll do it now. We have 4 different ways here of expressing multiplication using variables. The x, a raised dot, parentheses, and just bumping a digit right up next to a variable. All 4 of these expressions mean, say, 8 times whatever this value of n is for. We definitely want to lose immediately 8xn because is that a multiplication or is it the variable x? We can use our raised dot against a variable, but it's extra work. Extra work here when you only have a symbol, only have a variable with inside the parentheses. So just go ahead and use your shorthand, easy way of writing 8n. Means 8 times n. Now here, on this first expression, if we had 8 times n plus 7, well then, yeah, of course we'd really need the parentheses because this really says 8 times n is 8n plus 8 times 7, 7/8 are 56. But we weren't talking about this distributive property here. And we'll mention that again later, but not this lesson. So, we can also have division. We have x divided by 2. We have x over 2. But this means x divided by 2. Either one of these you can use. I'm going to ask you to very rapidly get to where you write it in the form where it looks like a fraction. Now what if you have instructions that say evaluate 5x if x equals 4. This is an example of a homework problem. Evaluate. Do you remember what evaluate means? Evaluate means just see what number you get if you put this value in for the variable. You would think of it as finding an answer. It's really not technically the same thing, but in practice you're just finding the answer. 5 times what? X. What are we letting x be here? What are we letting our magic number be here? We're saying that that's equal to 4. Now we have 5 times 4, which is 20. See how simple that is? Evaluate 5x if x is equal to 4. It looks complicated if you've never seen it before, but all it means is take this number. They're telling you that in this problem, and in this problem alone, x has a value of 4. So instead of writing the x, you write it as a 4. You now have 5 times 4 is equal to 20. Now, you could have evaluate this problem. Evaluate z over 4. Remember I slashed my z's. Z over 4 if z is equal to 36. Looks pretty complicated, but it's not. It's just learning to speak algebra. This simply says, for this problem, and this problem alone, z is going to be 36. So instead of z, we're going to write 36 over 4. You can think of this as reducing 36/4 or dividing 36 by 4. If you divide 36 by 4, you have 9. If you think about reducing, you could rewrite this 4 times 9 over 4 times 1. You cancel your common factor of 4. You have 9 over 1, which of course is equal to 9. Now if what I did over here makes you go, huh? You don't recognize this, don't worry about it. If you do recognize it, this is factoring to reduce and cancel common factors. This is always acceptable to do. And you will need to be able to cancel common factors. Just have two different ways for right now that we're doing this. So those are examples of evaluating algebraic expressions. So now let's do one that's just a tad bit more involved. What if we have something that looks like this? 4a over 3. Let me go ahead and copy this one exactly so that I don't have to create an answer on the fly. This says, evaluate 4a over 3 when a is equal to 6. All this means is we have this expression here. It's going to have a different value for it according to what you say that a is going to be. But for this problem and this problem alone, we're saying that a is equal to 6. So 4a means 4 times a. This fraction bar means we have division, so we're going to have a couple things going on. Very first, we substitute in the 6 for the a, our fraction bar, and 3. 4 times 6 is 24 over 3, or 24 divided by 3, for the obvious solution of 8. Nothing difficult in this. It's just saying, oh, you mean that's all they want me to do? Yep, that's all they want you to do. Not rocket science by any means. So let me pick. I have a little bit more time left on my recorder. What if we have, I'm looking for one that's hard, and I don't see any that are particularly hard. How about number 10? This is number 10 on page 45. And this says 2x plus 6 over z minus 3. Minus 3. And this is for x equal 9, z equal 11. So I'll take it back. This one might look intimidating to you, but I promise you it's not. It just looks different than a regular arithmetic problem. All we're doing is we say this is what our formula is. We have two magic numbers, if you will. We have an x and a z. And this magic number here for the x is 9. And the value that you're figuring in for the z is 11. We're going to substitute. That's the very first thing you do is first substitute. And you must write these in on your homework as a step so that I can see it. 2 times x, which is 9, plus 6, divided by z, which is 11, minus 3. Now it doesn't look quite so scary anymore because we got rid of the letters. Now we use our order of operations, which says do everything in the numerator, everything in the denominator. We have multiplication. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 6, divided by 11 minus 3. We can go ahead and do this now if we want to. 11 minus 3 is 8. 18 plus 6 over 8. 18 plus 6 is 24. Divided by 8. And I ran out of room. What's our value? Our value is 3. Write your problem. Write the values of your variables. Substitute in for your variables. Put the numbers in instead of the variables. Carry out the arithmetic. Circle the value that you come up with. That's all there is to it. All have a great day.